Hello there and welcome back to this Flutter course where today we're going to be continuing Unit 2 where we're going over the basics of the Dart programming language. Today we're going to be going over operators and really isn't much to go over, so we're going to speed through this. Arithmetic operators, very simple, plus minus. We have this minus and then a number. That's a unary minus. It just means that if we do minus, for example, a and a is 1, it's going to return -1. It's super simple stuff. It's not difficult. And then we also have multiplied by, divided by, and then we have this little like a slash. Not really a slash. It's going to be a what is that called? I forgot what that. I always forget what that symbol is called. Anyway, so it's that wavy dash symbol, and then a divide sign. So that's going to divide it, and then return integer. So if we do. If we just do 10/3, that's going to return 3.33333 repeating. But if we do 10, that wavy dash divided by 3, that's going to return 3. So it's going to round it and return an integer. And then finally, we have percent, increment, and decrement. And here it looks like the decrement is just single minus, but that's just because the font that the PowerPoint uses, it's actually 2 minuses. So, it's the same as in every other language. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the code. All we're going to take a look at is this unary minus, so this third operator, and then the divide or return integer operator, this wavy dash and the divide side. So we're going to take a look at those two because those are really the only ones that aren't well known. All right, here we are in the code. Let's do int I equals 1, and here we can just do I plus, let's see, no, not plus, I equals -I. Actually, no, let's just do print -I. And then let's also just do print. And then for me, this wavy dash thing is, whoops, nope, that's the wrong thing. For me, this wavy dash thing is right to the right of my shift key, but I am using a MacBook Pro 2018. Yeah, I just got it like last week. Anyway, I'm gonna stop bragging about my computer here. Anyway, it's to the left of my shift key, and here you're gonna use where you can do divided by, and then I divided by. I don't know. Let's see what should we. Let's make this 10, and then divided by 3 like that. There we go. Okay, now let's run that. Dart app dart, and there we go. You can see now that we get -10 here, and then we get 3 here. So if we remove this wavy dash here and run it, we get 3.33 repeating. There we go. That's the difference there. Okay, those are the arithmetic operators. Okay, finally we have relational operators. Not finally. Next we have relational operators. Also super simple stuff. We're not even going to take a look at them in the code. Just 2 booleans. I'm sorry, no, not 2 booleans. 2 numbers. One is more than the other, one is less than the other, one is more than or equal to the other, one is less than or equal to the other, one is equal to, and what is not equal to. So I'm not even gonna type them out in the code. You should. I mean, these are super simple. If you don't know the relational operators, look them up. They're not difficult. They're in every single programming language, I'm pretty sure, or at least every single programming language that I know. So yeah, relational operators. Okay, next, bitwise operators. Also, nothing difficult. Not even gonna go into that. We have the and, we have the or, we have the bitwise not as well, which just reverses the bits. We have the left shift, and then right shift as well. So yeah, pretty simple operators. Maybe a little bit more complex. You may not know them, but they don't really come up too much since they are only used really for operations involving bits. So yeah, really not too important to know either way. Okay, then next we have an assignment variable. So really the only weird assignment variable here that we have is this 2 question marks and then equals. So this is essentially just going to assign the value only if variable is null. So we're going to take a look at an example here, but first of all, let's go over all the other ones. So the first one is very simple, just equals. We've already seen that in action. The third one is just plus equals. So 1. If we have int I equals 1, and then we do I plus equals 2, that's going to be 3. And then if we do I equals 2, it's just going to be equal to 2. So that's the difference. Every single programming language has this. Then same with minus equals, same idea except for minus. Times equals, same idea except for multiplication. And divided by equals, same idea except for division. Okay, so those are all the ones. Let's take a look at this 2 question marks and then equal sign. All right, so here we are. So here what we're going to do is we're going to do int I here. And then we're going to do I and then question mark equals 2, and then I question mark equals 3. And you're going to see that if we print I, and actually let me go ahead and change this to I1, you're going to see that it's going to print, of course, 2. There we go. You can see that it printed 2. This is because when we do question mark equals and then 2, at first it is null, but then after that it's not null because we assigned it a value, and so 3 doesn't actually get assigned to I1. So that's the whole idea of this question mark equals operator, and that is assignment operators in Dart. Okay, next we have the logical operators. Also, not even going to go over them in the code. We have the logical AND, which is it just takes 2 booleans. If we have true and true, we get true. All other scenarios, we get false. Super simple stuff. We have the OR. OR is going to give us true if either of the booleans on either side are true, or if both of them are true. So the only so it's going to give us false, false, false if both of the booleans are false. Otherwise, it's going to give us true. And then finally, we have the not operator, which is placed before one boolean, which just reverses the actual boolean itself. So again, super simple stuff. This is in every single programming language, at least that I know. I think in every single programming language ever made. So yeah, those are the logical operators. Well, I mean, maybe not every single. I'm sure there are outliers, but in every single respected language. Okay. Next, we have conditional statements. So the conditional statements, they are sort of a little bit complex. The first one is the trinary operator. So we have a condition. So it's going to be a boolean. So if that condition is true, it's going to return A. If it's false, it's going to return B. So that's simple. That's just a trinary operator. We've seen that in a lot of places. But where we have these 2 question marks, that is maybe not as well known. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that in the code. But essentially the idea here is that if A is null, it's going to return B. If A is not null, it's going to return A. So super simple stuff, nothing complex there at all. Let's take a look at it very, very quickly. Okay, here we are in the code. Let's go ahead and do int, or no, let's do int I2 is equal to, I don't know, let's do it like this. Int I2, int I3 is equal to 1, int I4 is equal to I2, I3. Okay, and then let's just do print I4. All right, and let's run this. And there we go. You're going to see that is going to be equal to 1. If, on the other hand, we change I2 to 1, you're going to see here, actually, no, let's change I2 to 2. So we can see a difference. It's going to be equal to 2. And then, so that's the whole idea here. So that's essentially how that works. So if this value is null, it's going to return this value. If it's not null, it's going to return I2. So that's a super simple, actually pretty convenient operator. I would love to have it in more programming languages. So yeah, something to know. All right, and finally we have type test, the type test operator. So these are sort of these are sort of not known. We do, for example, in Java we have instance of, and a lot of programming languages actually do have type test. But essentially, the whole idea here is that it tests if the type is correct. So so we can do something like int, so like int I equals 0, and then on the next line we can do print I is int, and it's going to return true. If we do I is, and then an exclamation mark, that's going to reverse it. So essentially that's like is not. So if I is not int, it's going to return true. So yeah, we're going to take a look at both of these in the code right now. All right, so here we are in the code. Let's go ahead and create int I5 equals 3, and then we're going to do print I5 is double. And you're going to see that we're actually going to get false. There we go, false. And then also do the same exact thing, except here instead of is, we can just do is and then exclamation mark. That's going to give us true. So it's not double, true. There we go, simple as that. So one thing that is important to know is we can do object. So I5 is object, which is the core class in Dart, and you're going to see that we're actually going to get true. And same goes for dynamic, since it is essentially dynamic. Dynamic can be anything, and it is anything, so we're also going to get true for dynamic. So yeah, that is something to know. And we also just stumbled upon a pretty cool truth in Dart, is that pretty much everything, or almost, well, yeah, pretty much everything is an object in Dart. So even an int, unlike Java, where an int is a primitive type, in Dart, and int is also an object. So if we do I5 is object, it'll return true as we saw. So it is an object.